This is iFIBER 1 News. Here are today's top stories.
The Quincy Police Department has a familiar face as its new chief, looking to change the culture within a young department. The coldest event of the year returns New Year's Day as Grant County Animal Outreach is holding their annual polar bear plunge. Despite a disappointing season, the Seahawks are sending 4 players to the Pro Bowl.
Central Washington University's men's basketball team closed out the 2017 portion of their conference play against Northwest Nazarene University.
From the iFIBER 1 newsroom, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
The Quincy Police Department has a familiar face as its new chief, looking to change the culture within a young department.
My goal when I first came in was to take the first 30 days or so and just listen. Talk to the folks that work here and find out what is working, what isn't working.
Siebert has been at the helm for about a week and a half after serving nearly 24 years with the Grant County Sheriff's Office.
Interim Chief Bill Larson did a great job of righting the ship and changing attitude. And here, if you walk around and talk to the folks that work here, they're starting to recognize the effort made by their shift partners and their subordinates, where before they didn't. The culture was had turned in on itself a little bit.
Siebert said his goal is to continue and strengthen the culture Larson has worked to build and create an atmosphere that brings recognition to officers who go above and beyond, something he said he learned from Sheriff Tom Jones.
There's 3 things that I've talked to the sergeants about, which is respect, accountability, and commitment. And those 3 go hand in hand. And I think as long as we can build that environment and keep it going, we'll be fine, especially with respect. We've got a young department. They're eager to go out there and commit law enforcement. They want to make the community safer. But that's also a weakness because they don't have the experience investigating crimes or lifting fingerprints or photographing and all that.
In the next year, Siebert said his priorities for the department are to streamline some of the processes he says are redundant, develop a body camera program, and enhance the department's community outreach opportunities and transparency within the community. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by
Maytag and the family Pooch have a lot in common. Both are loyal, both aim to please, and both are tenacious dish cleaners. But only one can sanitize. Maytag, what's inside matters.
Maytag Appliances, now available at more furniture in Ephrata.
The coldest event of the year returns New Year's Day as Grant County Animal Outreach is holding their annual polar bear plunge. The January 1st event is set for noon at the shore along Cascade Park. The fundraiser typically draws more than 100 people each year, although many of them are happy to watch from the shore as others take a dip in the usually freezing cold water. Coffee, hot chocolate, and cookies are available to participants following the plunge. People can also enter a raffle for a gift basket by donating cash, pet food, or other needed items for the animal shelter. For every $300 donated, a Grant County Animal Outreach staff member will also go into the water. All funds from the event support the Animal Outreach organization located on Randolph Road Northeast near Moses Lake. The shelter houses between 200 and 400 cats and dogs each month. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by
Are your taste buds bored? Well, then bring them to Jay's Teriyaki. Not only does Jay's have a variety of teriyaki dishes, they also offer mouth-watering salads and sides. Call Jay's 509-764-5155. Jay's Teriyaki, located at 123 East Broadway in Moses Lake, because it's all in the sauce.
Despite a disappointing season, the Seahawks are sending 4 players to the Pro Bowl. Russell Wilson, Jimmy Graham, Bobby Wagner, and Earl Thomas were all selected, with Wilson finishing 7th in overall fan votes. Wilson leads the team in rushing yards and has accounted for 33 touchdowns on the season. Jimmy Graham has stepped up his play this year, pulling in 9 touchdown catches, good for a tie for 3rd most in the NFL. This will be his 5th trip to the Pro Bowl and 2nd as a Seahawk. Bobby Wagner is making his 4th consecutive trip, and Earl Thomas, who has bounced back from a season-ending injury last year, is making his 6th appearance in his 8-year career. The NFL Pro Bowl returns January 28th in Orlando, Florida. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 Sports.
Central Washington University's men's basketball team closed out the 2017 portion of their conference play against Northwest Nazarene University. Central Washington was fresh off their first conference win on a road game against Montana State University Billings. The Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks came into the game undefeated in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. Despite the Nighthawks' initial game control, the Wildcats led by 14 points when they walked into the locker room at halftime. When the Nighthawks stepped back onto the court, they were looking at a big recovery, but the Wildcats kept control of the ball and the clock. The Nighthawks put up a good fight, but the game ended in favor of the Wildcats, 80-67.
Any win in the GNAC is a huge win, and I couldn't be more happy for the guys. You know, one of our Achilles heels has been is giving up leads. I thought our guys did a nice job keeping the lead, taking care of the ball at the end, and stepping up and making our free throws.
Central Washington will host a non-conference game against Linfield University Saturday, December 30th. The Wildcats will resume conference play in 2018. I'm Madison Meyer with iFIBER 1 Sports.
This is iFIBER 1 News. For more information on these stories and other news, visit us online at iFiber1.com or check us out on Facebook.